Welcome back to the Rochelle B Show. Today's guest is a true definition of perseverance. At the age of 9, he lost the use of his legs due to wrongful injection. And although his challenges had been very rough from that moment on, he was determined to make something of himself. Today, he's one of Ghana's most celebrated para-athletes. And not only is he leading the way in sports, but he's also determined to change the stigma around those with disabilities in Ghana. You're going to want to stick around for this one.
You got me singing way oh, way oh. You look like a guy who could treat me right.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you too?
I'm good. Thank you
Nice,
so much for
nice
coming.
meeting you.
Yes, nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
This is MACLEAN, DZIDZIENYO.
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
Sure.
Oh gosh.
Alright.
So we want to know more about your story.
Oh, okay.
How you've gotten to this point and really how it all began.
Oh, okay. So my name, as she was trying to say, is my name is MACLEAN DZIDZIENYO,
Okay.
and I'm one of the National Paralympic athletes. So what I do is that I do wheelchair racing, and then I play wheelchair tennis. And Ghana, I used to be Ghana #1,
Yes.
and then I stopped for a year, and now I'm back again to come and play full wheelchair tennis in the country. But aside that, it was because of the Tokyo Paralympics. I focused on racing to qualify for the Tokyo, with which I made a standard B qualification, but could not make it finally because they needed the A standard. Ghana only had one slot to go to the Tokyo, and then they gave it out to my best colleague.
Okay.
So that is me, MACLEAN.
Yes.
So I'm into sports now.
Yeah. So
Okay.
sports, not so much the racing, but the sports.
Yeah, into
Yes.
sports. That's wheelchair racing and wheelchair tennis.
Okay, I understand. So tell me about, your beginning. I understand you were not always, in a wheelchair or unable to walk. So
Okay.
share with us that story.
All right. So what happened is that I had my disability at the age of 9 through a wrong injection by a doctor who wrongly injected my vein.
Right.
And then got my 2 legs to be paralyzed. So that is how I had my disability. After that, life has really been very, very tough as a disabled person, because then there was no much literacy, or people didn't really know when you have polio, or when an injection it's attributed to polio or this thing. But the perception was that maybe your family is scarce.
Right.
Maybe your family has done something wrong,
Like
and that is why
superstition.
there's this superstition that your family has done something wrong, and that is why
This has happened.
this predicament is happening to you.
Right.
And so life was very, very tough. I, for one, was kicked out from the house that I was living at that tender age, at
You
the
were
age of
kicked
9.
out?
Yes, because my mom was a kinky seller. She was selling kinky, and then because of my disability, people were not patronizing the kinky again. And so every morning she will have to send me out of the house, so people will come and then buy the kinky and stuff.
Right.
So what I did was, I mainly was living in the farm, and then living in uncompleted building, sleeping at the mercy of the weather. And what I was doing was that I used to go to the nearby river, was trapping fish by the hook, and then setting traps.
So this is like around 9, 10,
9, so
11.
9, upwards. So I was doing that, and then through the support of some benevolent people, I was able to enroll in GSS.
Oh.
I went to school, GSS,
Yeah.
I completed, and by the grace, I performed well. And then I also, through that, I went to my secondary, senior high, completed, and also
That's
went to the
amazing.
university, and then did accounting. That is HND.
Oh, wow.
HND in accountancy.
Yeah.
After that, getting a job was so difficult, because I go for interviews, I passed, but the institution ended up telling me that I have done really well, I deserve the job, I qualify for the job, but the infrastructure is not accessible for a person in a wheelchair.
Right.
So then some will give me money that maybe next time, or they are sorry,
So their
they can't
issue was
employ me.
access.
Okay, so accessibility. The accessibility was
Just being able to get to the building and work.
and then work was the problem. So it became like a frustration to me. I've been to several places, and then they keep using accessibility as an excuse. Then, because I was so determined to make it and not to be a liability to anybody, I had to then look for a second profession, which was when I enrolled into the sports. So I met the chalk production manager called Elvis Kosi Alupi, who once met me at Dodowa from the bush. And so I was
He
from
met you in the bush in
yes,
Dodowa.
so I went to hunting. So I told you I was trapping fish, hunting,
Yeah.
and then selling to people before I could make ends meet. So once he saw me from the bush with the hand crawling back home, then he saw that, hey, he's never seen such a person before, because a disabled person crawling with the two arms, with a gun, and then doing this, I might have upper body strength. So he's so interested, and then he followed me to my mom, and then
Okay.
we did the introduction.
Yeah.
So after the introduction, he told them that he wanted me to join the Greater Accra basketball team.
How old were you at this time?
So at this time I was about 20, 21.
Okay.
So he took me and then did the introduction with my mom, and then the following weekend he brought me to Accra, the city,
Yeah.
to see how my colleagues in the same wheelchair were playing basketball. So honestly, when I saw what they were doing, playing the basketball, I said I could even do this and perform better than them.
Oh, you had confidence right
yes,
away.
Yeah, right away.
Wow.
So after they played the game for about 45 minutes, they gave me some 15 minutes try, and then I was really, I was doing well right at the start.
And you've never played before?
No, but I knew how to use the wheelchair, so I was just trying my best. So I also had a passion and got interested, and really worked hard, trained. Every Saturday I've been coming for training. After 3 months, I was part of the regional team to represent Ghana. So when they played the regional tournament, I was part of the Greater Accra team that was selected. Yes.
After 3 months?
After 3 months.
Oh, wow.
So you could see how determined I was, because I wanted to prove to them that I could even do what they are doing and do it better than them. So I went all out for it. So when I got into the basketball, I had opportunity to do hand cycling, wheelchair hand cycling, to do wheelchair racing, and then to play wheelchair tennis. At the end of the day, I fell in love with wheelchair racing and then wheelchair tennis. And that is the two sports that I do now.
Okay, I see.
So being in the sports, I've had opportunity to represent, make Ghana proud. I've won several gold medals, silver medals, and bronze medals from other Ghana. And that has been the joy and the success of my story, that from a rejected stone like me, through sports, is now the voice for the voiceless.
Yes.
I can now speak on behalf of other disabled people, fight for the right of person living with disabilities in Ghana, because I've been to the university, and then I'm enlightened a little, so I see I could be the voice for my colleagues who cannot even speak English but need to fight for their rights. So that is it. I have represented Ghana in the US, Germany, Japan, Korea, South Africa, Germany, and so many other countries, making Ghana proud, and also proving to the world that, and my other colleagues on the street, that disability is not inability. So out of the sports, I had a colleague who was my mentor in the country. He really, he has been my mentor in the wheelchair racing, called Raphael Bocho in Kegbe. He is a then 3-time Paralympian. And so he mentors me. We live together, we do things together, and that has really brought me this far. So after some time, we unanimously came together to give back to the society. And so in doing this, we formed a Go Get 'em Wheelchair Racing Club to give back to the society, to give back to those on the street who are begging for arms, to give back to disabled people who are in the remote areas and who are not even regarded.
That is
as
amazing.
human beings.
Of course, I see them when I'm
Sure.
driving, and I don't understand.
Yeah.
I'd have no
So
idea.
sure. So we came out with this club called the Go Get Them Future Racing Club, with which my colleague is the chairman and I'm the secretary and the PRO. And so we have been in existence since 2012, and we've touched life of a lot of disabled people.
Yeah.
We've nurtured about almost 10 disabled people. We've taken some, most of them for international exposure. Now, those disabled people can say, I'm now part of my family.
Yeah.
First, they were rejected in their family, some from Tamale, some from Ada, some from Boku, some from different
Wow.
regions in the
All sorts of
country.
regions.
Sure. And so this is what we are doing. But there again, some of the challenges we face is getting a place for these athletes to come and house, like a proper housing for them, and so we can stay together, train together, and then inspire them more, bring them financial support when they
Yeah.
come, what they're going to feed on, their transport when they are going back in case they come, their like finances to buy equipment for them,
Yeah.
to train, gym and other stuff, has been one of our challenges that we faced. And so I know this is one of the platforms that can really reach out to people to come to the aid of the Go Get Them Wheelchair Racing support. And we are
Yes.
so excited that we met,
I
and
found you.
then yeah, you'll
I
be
would love to
supported
be a part of
there.
it.
Sure.
And of course, I'm sure everyone watching would
Yeah.
love to find a way to participate.
Sure.
And he's here actually,
Sure, Raphael.
So
it will
let's
be a
bring him
nice
in.
time, sure,
Yeah.
to listen to his side
Yeah.
of the story too.
Raphael, everyone.
Yeah,
Welcome.
thanks.
So tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you came to be involved in para-athlete sports.
Oh, okay. It's all started about, I would say, it started from school when I don't know much about para sports, and we're just part of the football group, trying to cheer the able bodies on when they were doing their own thing in the field, until my dad was transferred to one of the region in Brona-Hafo, called Brona-Hafo region, but currently it's the Bono region.
Okay.
So one of my days meeting with some of my colleagues, they said they have an association called GSPD. GSPD is the Ghana Society of Physical Disabled. And I decided to join the group. And one of our meetings, they were saying that they are doing sports. And it was so funny for me in the beginning because I grew up seeing all the sports they do by their legs. There's no sport they were doing by their arms, mostly in terms of me being a disabled person. So when they said it the first time, I was laughing in my head and I said, you need your leg to do sports. How can you do sport without your legs? So to be curious to know whatever they are saying, I take time to visit them one day in their training ground. So when I got there, I realized they were throwing ball into each other, and they were saying that they are playing basketball. And I said, well, if there's something they can do with their upper body, with the sports, then this is something great I can join. So right from there, I decided to be part of the group. So every Saturday, we normally do it mostly like a keep fit, so be strong and be fit and get ourselves going. So until 2000 and somewhere on the way, and we'd start getting some international body coming around, try to take us through some of the para sports. So I started it all with the wheelchair basketball, and in 2001, Johnny and friends came to Ghana through GSPD, and they came with some of the former Paralympians, which is somebody, Jane Driscoll, came to Ghana and ran a training camp, and I was part of the people who were involved in that training camp. So it continued the following year, 2002, and the 2003, she raised funds with some group and sent 8 athletes to America to be equipped to get their own racing chair. And I was part of,
chosen.
And I was part of that group. So in 2003, from there, I decided to do sport professionally. So I've taken it to myself from 203, and I'll be doing it up to date.
Oh,
That's
wow,
the only
yeah.
job I have.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what events do you
Um,
focus on?
I've been involved in a couple of sports, but my professional field has been a para-athletics, the wheelchair racing. In the track, I done 100 meters. I'm more sprinter in the track, and but I do marathon. I do train in all events. But if it comes to track, my Pacific heroes is the sprint. I do the 100 meters, 200, and the 400. But out of the track, I do up to marathon.
Okay,
Yeah.
amazing. So McLean was telling me you started a group that is assisting, other young people
Yeah.
with disabilities.
Yeah.
So he was just telling me about that, and you are the chairman. Yes. So how is that going?
Yeah. It's all started when we were trying to, upon all the achievements some of us were getting in terms of the sports, in terms of growing up, with so many challenges we were facing. There's so many perceptions, there's so many obstacles on our way in terms of family, community, and the society and the country we find ourselves in. So we're trying to use the sports to fight some of those things. And some of us, upon all our achievements that God has blessed us with, all the talent we have, we want to make a lot of impact, not just for ourselves, but for other people who we feel like we can also impact their lives. So the whole idea is to, how do you do it? You can only do it through where your strength is, and your strength is the sports you have, the platform you are getting, the media, the platform you are getting to be up there is the only way you can use. So we come out with the idea of setting up the club to give hope and to impart knowledge and to inspire other people to also do whatever we're doing, because that's the only way we can keep the legacy, or we can keep the flame burning, because we want to pass out the baton. You can't cheat nature, you can't be in the sport forever, and to have a lot of impact, to make that impact or your legacy stay, is to how you grow other people to follow up. So we set up the club to give back, to aspire, to train others also to do better than whatever we are doing at the moment. So that's how it all started. And from London, after the Paralympics in London, we came back and we started putting this together. And God been so good. MACLEAN and Co. from 2010, they also has been part of the journey. And here we are today. We have about almost 10 athletes, but professionally we have 5 athletes we are focusing on, where some of them has make it to the national team, has represent the country in the All African Games, and some have been to some of the international competition like the OCC Marathon, which they have done well. Some have been to Ota Marathon in Japan and everything. But still, we want to see a lot of people benefiting from whatever we are doing in terms of giving back.
Okay. I have a question. The stigma around people with disabilities, is it the same as, you're saying when you were younger, people didn't want to buy kenke from your mom? Is it still the same? Is that the way people view people now with disabilities?
Yeah, it is. I would
Or
say
is
that
it changing? Is it getting better?
things are changing into the better, because of there's so many advocacy group, and some of us has also get ourselves involved. We have families, we have friends who now understand that disability is not inability.
Right.
There's so many things we can do with our ability within us. We don't look at the physical strength. And we ourselves have to get ourselves motivated that the more you accept the disability in your mind, the more it affects your physical body. So we don't allow our disability. That's the main that we say, go get it. We go beyond our disability and go grab everything that we can. So beyond our disability, there's so many things we can do. So that's the challenge. It has been there. We won't lie to you. We keep on facing it day by day in a different way. But as it used to be, like first, people don't associate themselves. People don't want to move with you. People don't want to do that. There has been so many change now. And what we are facing more now is more like people understand that they need to create equal opportunities, equal environment, equal access to everybody to embrace. Those are we are paid. But in terms of that kind of thoughts they used to have, you are cares, you are this, you are that, those things have changed a lot.
Okay.
Now we have friends of media who always been to be the voice. They always put you wrong. No, we have Bocho, MACLEAN, and Rafa up there who are saying that what you are saying is wrong. So
Right.
that's something that we are happy about, that we're able to transform some of those
In
thoughts
Ghana.
in Ghana through our sports. I remember BBC came to Ghana to do the research interview with me after London, because the message I was carrying is beyond London and a changing perception. So they came back to see how perception has changed. And they went to a village where I was staying at there. And a lot of people have testified that Rafa being here has changed some of us, our thoughts
Wow.
about how we think
Yeah.
about person with disability. People were having their children quiet, not giving them opportunity into education. But we being there, after then, they start taking their child to school because they
Oh,
came
that's
to
so-
realize
Yeah.
it's wrong.
It's wrong.
It's wrong thinking.
It's wrong. I mean, I was just focusing on the sports aspect.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that beyond sports, there's so many more challenges, like
Yeah.
you know, on a daily
Yeah.
basis for someone with disabilities. You're saying you couldn't get a job, and
Yeah.
you were qualified, and you were excelling, you know, and you passed the interview, and the only reason they couldn't give you the opportunity was because maybe they didn't have an elevator, or you know.
That's it.
So do you feel in those situations they could have accommodated you still?
Okay, so one of the things they do say was that it was an old infrastructure and lift, elevator, and those stuff were not factored in. So maybe when they build a new, but then time is also going. I'm growing. So should I always be like this? That shouldn't be an
Right.
excuse
Yes.
for me not getting a job.
Yeah,
What if I also have a family? How do
Yeah.
I take care of them?
exactly.
If I don't have a job, then I can't even get married, or I will look stupid. Even if I'm married, I look so stupid in presence of my wife.
Right.
And that is why it's an essence that I get a job, or a disabled person gets a job.
So the Tokyo Olympics, will you be going?
Oh, the chances for going to Tokyo was so bright, but I can say for now, a decision from my National Paralympics Committee is not in favor of me going to Tokyo. After everything we have done, we have gone through from 2019, trying to make the mark, trying to make all those things. My NPC feel like this is a time for someone else also to go instead of Raphael going.
Oh yeah. Oh, I
And,
understand that. Okay.
As I always say to my people, my athlete is all about Ghana. It's not
Yes.
about me as an individual
Right.
person. So if this is the time to you to make a decision in the favor of my nation, Ghana, then I'll prefer that anybody that is going, I'll give him my blessing. Me being the 3-time Paralympian is enough. Being Athens, being Beijing, being London, 3 times. Don't go into Tokyo, will not take anything out of
Right.
Raphael.
Yes.
Just can't going to wish the team that is going on wish them all the best. And but I would say Tokyo will not be my last Paralympics. Even if I didn't go or I went, I will go. It will not be my last Paralympics. I say that because I'm now getting opportunity to train others
Right.
who might attend a lot of Olympics with me being a coach.
Yes.
So I'm not being an active athlete, but I
Right.
might be a coach for some of the para athletes that can go to the Paralympic in future. So the journey is still continue. But for now, my going to Tokyo is limited.
Right. So you're
Yeah.
passing the baton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. I just want to also add to it like the go-getter. I don't know if
Go
MACLEAN
get
have
them. Yes, he
the
told
MACLEAN
me.
have talked about some
Yes,
of the
he did.
challenges, the needs, and all that we have. So as MACLEAN is one of the, he's the face of go-getter. He's one of the face. Go-getter was branded around him before we start getting most of the couple athletes in. So whatever he might be saying, you have experienced it. The biggest challenge we are having as a go-getter is the equipment. Equipment is one of the challenges.
Yes, and we were talking about that before as well.
Yeah. So the equipment is one of the challenges because we have experience traveling around the world. We see how they started sports from the early age.
Yes.
And the research has shown that the earlier you get the kids involved in the sports,
Right.
it impacts with them and the better they improve. So we go get them trying to catch them young in whatever we are doing. If we can have a right equipment right from beginning
Yes.
for the kids like 7 years, 8 years, 9 years,
Yeah.
to have that, because sports, we came to realize that sports has been one of the tools we can use to do so many things, and that we want to let other people involve in it, and also use it also to help other people. Helping, we might not get everybody to be doing sports,
Right.
but we can help people to be a voice for other people that has been looked down upon, that has been discriminated against in the various family. How we can make sure we educate people to understand that a disabled person in your family is two couples who make love and give birth.
Right.
That child is innocent. What it needs from you is your support. Do your best and leave the rest to God. Do your best of creating equal support,
Right.
equal platform,
Equal
and that child
opportunities.
opportunity, and that child will be a beneficiary for the family, the community, and the nation. Because I always said, each and every one have some unique talent within him or her. With your support, that unique talent will be beneficial for everyone to rest on. So that's what we are standing for, and that's where we always call on people to support. Go get them. We push to glory. We push to inspire the next generation.
That's amazing. So the funding for something like that, is that government funded, or is that just you guys, using your resources to bring it together?
Yeah, so one thing we do is sometimes we embark upon this sponsorship, writing letters to companies and other stuff, but not many. Some have come on board to support and we've really proven our credibility in the country. But we still need more to take care of our rent,
Yeah.
accommodation,
And the
feeding,
equipment.
and
Yeah.
this kind of stuff. Because we should even invite some of our colleagues here, so
Yeah.
by now we'll be training and stuff. But
Yeah.
because financially the club is down a little because of the COVID and other stuff too.
It's
Things
limited.
seems to be very slow for us, but we are still hoping that through their support and through some of these channels, we might be able to still get back on track and then
Yes. Reach your
touch
goals.
lives. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for taking time
Thank
out to,
you.
to talk with me. Your stories are very incredible. Gave me an insight more as to the challenges that disabled people face from their youth and up until this very moment for a lot of them. So thank you guys so much for meeting
Thanks
with
for
me.
coming.
So that is all for now, you guys. So I'm gonna actually leave a link down below, and anyone out there who'd love to support, go get them.
Rochelle Racing Club.
Racing Club. You can click the link down below and donate. It will be put to good use and well appreciated.
Sure.
Thanks, guys. So I'll see you next time on the Rochelle B Show. Say bye.
Bye.
Go get it.